In 1769, in the rugged terrain of Corsica, a boy was born who would change the course of history. Napoleon Bonaparte, the second of 8 children, grew up amidst tales of Corsican resistance against French rule. His early years were marked by a fierce ambition and an unyielding determination that would propel him to the pinnacle of power. Napoleon's rise from a modest Corsican family to the Emperor of France was a tale of relentless ambition, military genius, and political acumen. This story, however, is also one of hubris, relentless warfare, and eventual downfall. Napoleon's military career began in earnest during the tumultuous years of the French Revolution. Graduating from the École Militaire in Paris, he quickly made a name for himself with his strategic brilliance and unorthodox tactics. His first major success came at the Siege of Toulon in 1793, where his audacious artillery maneuvers forced the British out of the city, earning him the rank of brigadier general at just 24 years old. The young general's fame spread rapidly. He demonstrated an uncanny ability to inspire his troops and outmaneuver his enemies. In 1796, he was given command of the French army of Italy, where he embarked on a stunning campaign that crushed the Austrian forces and established his reputation as a formidable military leader. The Italian campaign was Napoleon's first major test, and he approached it with a blend of boldness and tactical innovation. The French army, poorly equipped and outnumbered, was demoralized. Napoleon's arrival changed everything. He reorganized the troops, instilling discipline and a sense of purpose. In a series of rapid and decisive battles, Napoleon outflanked and outmaneuvered the Austrian forces. His victory at the Battle of Lodi earned him the nickname the Little Corporal, and his charismatic leadership won him the loyalty of his men. The campaign culminated in the Treaty of Campo Formio, which expanded French territory and solidified Napoleon's status as a military genius. In 1798, Napoleon set his sights on Egypt, aiming to undermine British influence in the region and establish a French presence in the Middle East. The Egyptian expedition was as much a scientific and cultural mission as a military one, with scholars accompanying the army to study ancient Egyptian civilization. The campaign began with a swift and decisive victory at the Battle of the Pyramids, where Napoleon's tactics overwhelmed the Mamluk forces. However, the campaign soon turned into a quagmire. The French fleet was destroyed by Admiral Horatio Nelson at the Battle of the Nile, stranding Napoleon and his army in Egypt. Despite initial successes, the campaign ultimately failed to achieve its strategic objectives. Upon returning to France in 1799, Napoleon found the country in political turmoil. The Directory, the governing body of the French Republic, was deeply unpopular and ineffective. Sensing an opportunity, Napoleon orchestrated a coup d'état on 18 Brumaire, November 9, 1799. With the support of key political and military figures, he dissolved the Directory and established the consulate, with himself as first consul. This marked the beginning of Napoleon's consolidation of power. He implemented sweeping reforms to stabilize the French economy, strengthen the central government, and codify laws. The Napoleonic Code, introduced in 1804, became one of his most enduring legacies, influencing legal systems worldwide. In 1804, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of the French in a lavish ceremony at Notre Dame Cathedral. This act symbolized the culmination of his rise to absolute power. However, the coronation also marked the beginning of a series of conflicts that would come to be known as the Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon's ambition knew no bounds, and he sought to extend French influence across Europe. His Grande Armée, a highly disciplined and formidable force, achieved a series of stunning victories. The Battle of Austerlitz in 1805, where Napoleon decisively defeated the combined forces of Austria and Russia, is often considered his greatest military triumph. However, the tide began to turn with the disastrous invasion of Russia in 1812. Napoleon's decision to march on Moscow ended in catastrophe. The harsh Russian winter, combined with relentless guerrilla warfare, decimated his army. Only a fraction of his troops returned to France, marking the beginning of the end for Napoleon's empire. The defeat in Russia emboldened Napoleon's enemies. The Sixth Coalition, comprising Britain, Russia, Prussia, and Austria, launched a concerted effort to topple him. In 1813, Napoleon suffered a major defeat at the Battle of Leipzig, also known as the Battle of Nations. This loss forced him to retreat to France, where his hold on power grew increasingly tenuous. In 1814, Paris fell to the coalition forces, and Napoleon was forced to abdicate. He was exiled to the island of Elba, but his ambition and determination were undiminished. In 1815, he escaped from Elba and returned to France, rallying his supporters for a dramatic but short-lived comeback known as the 100 Days. The final showdown came at the Battle of Waterloo on June 18, 1815. Facing the combined forces of the Duke of Wellington and Prussian Field Marshal Blucher, Napoleon's forces were decisively defeated. The battle marked the end of his reign and the collapse of the Napoleonic Empire. Following his defeat at Waterloo, Napoleon was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic. There, under constant surveillance, he lived out his remaining years. He spent his time writing memoirs and reflecting on his life and legacy. On May 5, 1821, Napoleon died. His health deteriorated by the harsh conditions of his exile. Napoleon Bonaparte's legacy is complex and multifaceted. He was a military genius whose campaigns reshaped Europe and whose legal reforms had a lasting impact on the world. Yet his insatiable ambition led to countless wars and immense suffering. Napoleon's rise and fall remain a testament to the heights of human ambition and the perils of unchecked power. In the annals of history, Napoleon stands as a towering figure, a man of extraordinary vision and capability whose actions irrevocably altered the course of history. His story is one of relentless ambition, brilliant strategy, and ultimate tragedy, a tale that continues to fascinate and inspire to this day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe to receive notification when we drop new content.